What's going on, everybody? Toby-Wan Shinobi here with MF Buddy, and we are back again for another episode 2, I believe, of the Hot Drop, where we discuss things on the Fortnite scene, and today we are talking about Chapter 5. We are decoding everything we know about Chapter 5, and also doing our own speculation, theories, and that sort of thing. So welcome on to the channel once again, MF Buddy. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Always good to hang out with you, Toby. I am excited about this episode. I always get really pumped when it comes to a new chapter of Fortnite, but there's also a little bit of nervousness that comes up with it as well. But we're excited about this episode. We got a couple topics that we're going to cover, and I think maybe we go ahead and start right here. Toby, one of the questions that I had, and I think this will be a good way to just kind of lead everything off, but what do you feel like we can expect from Chapter 5, and just personally for you, what are you expecting with the new chapter?
Yeah, so this is a really, really interesting chapter. I've got this, this theory, and I think that it's actually not even really a theory at this point. I think it's just the truth. What is happening at Epic Games, what is happening with Fortnite itself is a very interesting thing. Okay, so let me just kind of lay down the landscape as I see it. Epic Games brings back Fortnite OG, brings this huge influx of players back to Fortnite, right? Trying to get as many players into the game as possible, right? That also, prior to this, they started doing creative. They started really working on creative, UEFN, giving developers all the tools they need to build their own games inside of Fortnite, like legitimately their own games. Anything you can do in a game development suite, you can now do in UEFN Fortnite, right? So that is interesting, right? And now they're bringing in Lego into Fortnite. So a whole nother group of people, very different subset of people, right? They're bringing an Eminem concert into Fortnite to launch Chapter 5. They're trying to get all these people that are interested in Eminem and just that music scene, and Eminem's a huge rapper, maybe the biggest rapper in the world, right? Put him up on Fortnite, get everyone talking about Fortnite, another huge influx of people looking at Fortnite, getting interested in Fortnite. Then you've got this Lego collab, right? And now they're talking about bringing a racing mode into Fortnite as well as a music mode into Fortnite. So like a Fortnite Guitar Hero. So, wow, they're doing a lot of crazy things. And what I'm seeing is Fortnite becoming more of a gaming hub and less of a battle royale game, right? Epic is looking at this as a very strategic business move. They are looking at basically creating a gaming hub and bringing all types of players into Fortnite to develop their own games, play all these different games. And then there's also the battle royale. So it's very interesting. It can be a little concerning as a Fortnite BR player to hear this and be like, wow, a little concerning, right? But overall, I think it's going to bring a large influx of players into Fortnite, and it's going to be a very interesting chapter, that's for sure. I'd love to hear what you think about that.
Man, there's so much that is going to go into this new chapter. Obviously, you touched on the Lego mode, you touched on the racing, and I agree kind of with the thought process of what you're getting at. It looks like Epic Games is kind of making an attempt at monopolizing all things video games. Kind of like they're putting their stake in the ground, and almost like this bigger picture of all games that will be played can and will be played out of Fortnite, which is a monumental task to undertake. On one side of it, from a totally unbiased perspective, I think it's phenomenal that we're able to do that with video games in this day and age. Like, who would have ever thought when you and I were playing Halo 2, when we were playing Gears of War, that this would even be possible, Then on the flip side, again, as a Fortnite Battle Royale player, you get that feeling of okay, is Battle Royale just going to take a back seat? Is it going to be replaced by other things, and that's just that's going to ultimately be Epic's decision. I don't think they're going to fully throw it away or anything like that, but it is interesting to see these major projects like Lego, the racing mode, even this Rock Band type game mode that they're putting in. Those are all individual games in and of themselves, right?
Yeah.
So definitely just a lot coming from that,
Yeah, really interesting that you said Halo and Gears of War. Now, as soon as you said that, I was like, whoa, picture playing Halo inside of Fortnite, Gears of War inside of Fortnite. And that is, I think, what Epic is looking to do, right? They want developers to create these different types of games in their little ecosystem and keep people in the Epic Games store. Yeah, the store, and just keep them buying stuff, and use all kinds of cosmetics across these different games, and, be able to have your subset of characters that you can play in any game. You could play Jonesy inside of Halo. You're no longer Master Chief, you're Jonesy. It's like, what? So pretty interesting.
Eminem.
What's that? Oh yeah.
Or Eminem.
Yeah, for sure. Or Eminem. I was just like, that's a crazy thought. Like, you think of Fortnite as a children's game, and then they're introducing Eminem into it. It's like, what? But clearly they're going for, trying to cast a wide net and trying to catch as many people as possible. And I think it's a very smart business move, especially bringing back OG. I think that was a pretty smart business move as well.
I agree.
So yeah, let's just talk about, what do you want to see from Fortnite Chapter 5? What is it?
So I think for me personally, after a month of Fortnite OG, I think it's not up for debate that map was created with zero build in mind, right? There was nothing on there that was truly like, oh, wow, what a phenomenal zero build map. But a lot of people kind of knew to expect that. Obviously, for me personally, playing zero build, I want to see a map and a loot pool that really just brings an excitement to zero build. Again, kind of just like a hype meter, so to speak. And for me, I look back to Chapter 3 when zero build was first introduced, and that was like the funnest meta that has been so far for zero build, in my opinion. There was a ton of natural mobility on the map. There was an incredible loot pool with the auto shotgun, the combat AR, the hammer AR. We had shockwaves. So I love the loot pool that was in the game at that time. I know what I would like to see brought over from Chapter 4. Obviously, I want to see some scoped ARs come back into the game. I would love to see some more unique mobility items like the hammer or the sword. I think those were so cool when they were brought in Chapter 4. Obviously, we should have augments back in the game, but overall, I want a map and a loot pool that supports an action-packed game from start to finish, and I know that that's a lot to ask for, but overall, I want zero build to be extremely fun going into Chapter 5.
An exciting game that definitely hits a note there, because I felt like Fortnite OG, while it was fun, I did have fun playing it. It was kind of nostalgic. I did play a little bit of Fortnite OG, like season 2 or something, but I did have fun in Fortnite OG, but it just felt very boring a lot of the times. Just looking for players, just going across these giant landscapes, just hunting out players only to be killed by somebody hiding in a bush or, hiding in whatever. Yeah. So it was fun. I definitely had fun with Fortnite OG, but I am excited to see us return to more action oriented. And like you're saying, more mobility around the map, natural mobility, like hot air balloons in Chapter 3, or like these, what do we have? Geysers in Chapter 4, that sort of stuff. I thought that was really, really cool for rotations and just getting across the map without having to run across the whole thing and just get beamed by somebody hiding in a bush. Yeah, so I'm really excited. I do want to see scoped ARs return, but I do want them pulled back a little bit. I feel like the twin mag that we had last season
was just busted.
It was out of control. Yeah. You couldn't be out in the open for more than 2 seconds without, someone that has godlike aim is just going to run the map from afar. And I do feel like we need to pull it back a little bit. I think this striker burst rifle in Chapter 3 was a great little combo. I think that was like the first introduction to a scoped AR, maybe, or
right.
Like hit scan scoped AR, other than like the scoped AR that we have in OG right now. I'm not sure if that was a thing, but I feel like the striker burst was a really good thing because it had like a lot of recoil. It wasn't super accurate. It definitely had some like kick, so it wasn't super accurate, but you could cross map a little bit with it. And it felt really, really good to use.
Right.
Good aim was, it helped you a lot in fights. Where right now it's like, I'm tired of standing still, crouching down and just pulling the trigger slowly and finding out who has, their crosshairs on the person and pulling the trigger at the right time, sort of thing. I don't know. I want some movement in the game again. I want some exciting fights, mid-range fights that feel exciting instead of just like standing there and pulling the trigger.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So there have been like speculations on what the map might look like. I know that you've been able to check out some potential Chapter 5 maps, but judging by the map that potentially might be the Chapter 5 map, what are you thinking the gameplay might be like?
Yeah, so looking at the leaks, right, we have this map that they're calling Helios that is found in the game files. I guess they found the word Helios. Now, it was leaked by somebody who works in visual effects for a living, I believe, or graphic design. When I was doing my own research, I was like, this person works as a visual effects artist. So I'm not entirely sure that this is actually the map. It very much looks like the Chapter 2 map of Fortnite. It looks like a tweaked version of the Chapter 2 map. And what I'm seeing is a lot of kind of like almost like islands, like they're split by riverways and like big paths and sort of things. Like it's very split up, these POIs. It's kind of like a lot of open space in between them. So I'm not sure how big this map is. It's probably going to be a lot smaller than OG because OG is just way too big. But it also looks like it's like a lot of open space in between POIs, which makes me think that there's going to be a lot of vehicles, a lot of vehicle gameplay, and a lot of mobility. So maybe we'll come back to having like a lot of mobility in the game, like you're saying, maybe hammers, swords, shockwaves, all kinds of different things, grapplers. I really like the grappler right now in Fortnite OG. I'm gonna really miss that thing, dude. Just a side note there. But yeah, I think that's what we're looking at. I think that vehicles are gonna play a heavy role, and mobility is probably gonna be pretty important again. Now, I don't know what the terrain is gonna be like. If we're gonna have like a Fortnite OG feeling where the terrain is like really, really powerful if you get in the right spot and you know you can just hold a peak. Because right now the terrain in Fortnite OG is just outrageous. Some of these mountains just like, and not some of them, just everywhere. They're everywhere. Like you can hold down a peak, and if someone's up there, then you're kind of in trouble. But that could be negated by more mobility. So what do you think about the map?
Knowing that it's not fully confirmed yet, like I guess I'm afraid to get like too emotionally invested in it. But you know, from first glance, it looks extremely small. I heard that there were some leakers talking about a potential like train that was like built into the map, and they like mapped it out or something like that. And I think that's interesting. Nobody has made any like major conclusions on what the train would be for. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially like in a battle royale, like would you just like all hop on the train and
have train fights? That'd be cool.
Yeah. That would actually be kind of cool though. Like the train is just moving, but I mean, could it potentially function kind of like a rift, you know what I mean? Where it could take you from one point to another point and, you know, something like that. For me personally, chapter 4, by the end of it, I know that this had a lot of mixed opinions, but I really did love the chapter 4 map. And I really thought that we were getting there in terms of a map that is just suited for zero build. Me personally, I think that if there would have been a couple tweaks to the loot pool overall, it would have been unstoppable. Like my first like gut reaction to this potentially being the map, I'm like, I guess we'll see. You know what I mean? So more than anything with any map, as long as there's mobility, you can kind of make it work. But you know, I always get excited about new POIs, new weapons, things of that nature. For zero build specifically, we truthfully just need enough mobility in the loot pool and natural mobility to be able to play the game.
Yeah, and natural cover, because right now in Fortnite OG, if you just compare, like I've gone through old videos and like current videos of Fortnite OG, and you just like have these end zones that literally have like 3 trees, and that's all. You know, and 2 trees get shot out. Now there's just a single tree. And if you don't have bunkers, good luck. You know, I had that end zone like last stream or something. It was just like literally like 1 tree to hide behind in the final zone. And I just got third party and it was like, okay, well, I lost.
Yeah. And right now with this week too, you have 1 tree and then there's a storm flip on you. There's 2 air raids that are falling from the sky and 5 junk rifts. Why not?
Yeah. So it's just like, I'm excited. Yeah. For the randomness of Fortnite OG. I call it randomness, but like a more balanced loot pool. You know, that's what I'm actually looking forward to. Because chapter 4, like you said, I feel like had a much more balanced loot pool. There was stuff that was overpowered, but it was also pretty high risk. There were things that came in the game, like the explosive repeater with soaring sprints that were like, okay, that's really annoying, but it actually takes a fair amount of skill to use it against people effectively, and also they can get covered. There's like kind of ways to counter it. Or a lot of times right now, it just feels like there's not a lot you can do in certain situations on this map. There's no cover, and if somebody has a grenade launcher and you've got the only piece of cover and they're spamming you and they got high ground, you're like, okay, well, GG's, you know.
GG's, dude.
Yeah, with a little grappler, like going 20 feet at a time through the open space, getting shot by 3 people, it's like, So yeah, I feel that too. I'm really, really looking forward to a more balanced loot pool, hopefully, that is friendly to zero build, and something that's a little more competitive, I guess you could say. Like not truly competitive, but you know, just feels like it's more skill-based weaponry and use of cover and positioning and that sort of thing. Not saying that OG is not skill-based. I know that a lot of people feel like it's the most skill-based, but I do think that rotations and everything were really important in OG, and it did teach me a lot about my own gameplay. I did improve in certain aspects, but I do feel like it's a little random at times. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on OG not coming back? Because I know that was something that a lot of people joined, right? And they're like, oh yes, OG's here. Hopefully it stays and maybe becomes another playlist, but like it's leaving. From what I've heard, from what leakers have said, is that it's just fully leaving. So what are your thoughts on that?
I might rock the boat here with a lot of, the potential OG people, but from a business perspective, I think it's an incredible decision for it not to be in the game. So within a couple days, Epic is going to be introducing multiple new entire game modes, right? So Lego, Rocket League type racing, Rock Band type music game, and Chapter 5 Battle Royale. So, I mean, that's 4 major game modes right there. And if you were to take OG and make that its own game mode as well, we're talking 5 game modes where people now have more choices of where to play. And to take your player pool and potentially give them the choice to spread themselves that thin, just not the best business move. Something like OG can easily be rotated in, whether it be annually or, once a chapter, right? It's proven to be successful. It's proven to be loved by people. And so too much of something is not good, right? So I think from a business perspective, you see that people love it, pull it away from them, make it more desirable, because to leave it in there would just be, it would lose its shine, so to speak. Me personally, I think what would be really, really cool is if we had one chapter. Epic, if you ever hear this, please listen. It would be so cool to have one chapter where we rotate every map that's ever been. So, you queue up in a pub and you don't know what you're going to get, but boom, you're on the battle bus and you see that you're on the chapter 3 map, right? Next map, you could be on the chapter 4 map or the chapter 1 map. That to me would be so cool and keep things so fresh. But overall, my thoughts on OG not coming back. I personally, good riddance, respectfully to all the OGs. I'm kind of over it. So,
okay, all right, strong words. I like it.
Yeah.
Standing your ground.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm trying not to be politically correct on that one. I'm genuinely glad. As a zero build player, it was just getting to the point where it was almost unplayable. But look, we made it through the month. Now I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on OG not coming back?
Yeah. I feel, pretty similar. Now, I will say that I love the idea of having a chapter that rotates through all these maps. That'd be super fun because, that just like adds so much replayability. Like, oh, what are we going to get this time when we drop in? Exactly. Oh, wow. Like there's just like literally 100 POIs that you have to learn and like explore. And like, that would be pretty crazy. File size of the game might be huge. I don't know. There's probably all kinds of reasons that they wouldn't do that. But if they did, that'd be pretty fire. I do like the idea also of like, annually bringing back Fortnite OG for, a couple weeks or something, like a limited playlist, because like you said, splitting the playlist, the population, while we will receive a lot more players, I think, from these different game modes like Lego, which is basically, from my understanding, to be like a Minecraft mode or like an adventure game. A lot of that, it could take a lot of the kids that currently play Battle Royale right now that like to do like the quests and just kind of mess around. A lot of those players might just go over to Lego mode or, racing mode or whatever like that. We could split the population quite a bit. So I think it's a good call. I agree. Fortnite OG going away, I think, is a good business decision. Having another playlist for Fortnite OG that stands all the time, it's splitting the population too much. Now, as far as OG disappearing for me, I'm pretty happy about it. I think I kind of laid down my thoughts pretty well on this. It's like, it just feels very random. Doesn't feel super competitive. A lot of times it's just like where storm poles and, what you have in your equipment at the time, if you got third party or not, if you're playing more active or not. It felt like I was very confined to playing a certain type of way. And I'd love to see, the gameplay styles open up again so that we can play a little more actively and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for Chapter 5 and Fortnite OG to be over for now. If they want to come back, a limited time playlist, that's fine by me. I did have some fun. There was, it was interesting to have a new map that was just totally different than anything I've really played before. But yeah, good riddance. Fortnite OG. Good riddance.
I miss you.
You were good for a time, a long time ago, 2017. or whatever it was. All right, guys, those were our thoughts on Fortnite Chapter 5, our speculations, theories, and what we know so far. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have not subscribed to MF Buddy on YouTube, please go check out his channel. He teaches Fortnite Zero Build content and streams quite often. I also run duos with this guy every once in a while on stream. Thank you so much for being here, MF, and offering your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a blast. Obviously, it goes without saying, Toby, you are one of the best, one of the most unique voices in the Fortnite community, truly helping people to get better. So please make sure to subscribe to Toby's channel as well if you've gotten this far in the video. This was another episode of the Hot Drop. Until next time, you guys, GG's. Toby Wan, Shinobi, and MF Buddy, we're out.
Wow.